So today we're going to take our horrible little grubby narrowboat on a very rare outing. I mean, it's not really that horrible anymore, is it? We've been restoring it for the last 2 years and it is slowly getting there. The aim to hit every river and canal on the UK network and document it for you guys. So far we have just been documenting my terrible DIY skills. So today is going to be really fun, guys, because I've been itching for so long to become a cruising narrowboat channel, and today I can kind of pretend that we are a cruising narrowboat channel. How's it going, guys? So in today's episode we're finally going to take the boat out. The purpose of this trip is going to be to see if we can rely on the alternator on the engine to see if the boat is bringing in enough energy, basically, to live off of like continuous cruising. We've been doing this for 2 years now and we need to get going, and I'm wondering if we could just do it on the equipment that we've already got on the boat. We're going to take it down the river for 4 hours. We're going to camp out for the night. We are not going to be plugging in the fridge, but we're going to have our lights on and we're going to power the TV on and we're going to get the laptop going a bit and just see, you know, if we're going to have to start running the engine to pump a bit more juice into the batteries while we're not on the shoreline. And in a few weeks down the line, we might see if we can get hold of a generator and see if we can replicate the trip, maybe do a little bit longer and see what it's like living on the boat using a generator. I know it's very hit and miss with these journeys. They're noisy, people steal them, but I think we could maybe even avoid getting a proper solar setup and rely on a generator on the boat. But that's all part of the test, I suppose. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and tune in for that. It's a very, very sharp bend to the left here out the marina, guys. We've struggled in the past and the pub's always packed. It's a blimmin' nightmare. First, let's have a look at our leaky, condensation-y sort of issue down here in the bow thruster area. So we have a small water problem up here in the bow thruster area that caused this chaos under the floorboards running the entire length of the boat. And it's completely dry in here now. The door's been off for about four to 6 weeks, I think. And absolutely no sign of any water. That is 100% condensation, guys. It's a hell of a lot. It can be quite doubtful at times. It had us thrown for a long, long time, but I mean that's been 3 or 4 weeks now with that off, and the air circulating in there, and not one little drop. So there you go. It's got to be condensation. We had quite heavy rain last night. There's no water in there. It's condensation. Watch this space. We're going to have to get some ventilation down there. I mean, if you look back at the craziness of the leak under the floorboards and you trace that all back, all that damage just through condensation is quite incredible. Time to fill up with diesel from our emergency supply.
What you got there?
Diesel.
Oh, dirty diesel.
We're going to take a trip up to Bedford Marina and fill up on diesel up there. But we've just been informed it's actually cheaper to sort of go to a garage somewhere and pick up some red diesel. You can put red diesel in, I think, can't you?
Yeah.
We picked this up at Fox's when we got the boat blacked, so we're going to fill the boat up and see if we've got enough in there to take us on a little journey today anyway. Something that always tickles me with narrowboats is that you've got to use a little stick to dunk in to see where your diesel level's at, and I mean that's even for new narrowboats as well. As Narrowboat will suggested, get a padlock on there, because people supposedly on this scene pinch your diesel if they get the chance. Whack that in. Which side?
Oh, it's not too bad.
That's all right, actually, isn't it?
Careful not to drip it in the river.
No?
You're dripping it in the river, yeah.
Yeah, it is like what they use in the army and stuff, isn't it? They have it on like army vans. The spout, my favourite part of this contraption. I've never done this before. You put that on. Yeah.
That wasp's still hanging about.
I think he's building his home. Maybe put up a nest here for his eggs or something. What do you reckon?
His eggs.
Home in here? Has he got a nest in here or something?
Just leave him and he'll...
No, I'm not going to start.
Just watch you don't boot the petrol cap. That's
right.
God! What? The more you flap about, the worse he'll be.
Oh, wait,
Maybe
please.
it is the fuel.
It is somewhere.
Just ignore him, he'll be fine. He's not bothering you.
Once I start pouring, he's going to come.
Right, just focus on the task at hand instead of the...
Oh!
Right, it's far more important that you don't pour fuel into the river than worrying...
We're going again, we're going!
Forget about him. Huh?
It's behind me somewhere.
He's not anywhere near you, don't worry. You can see why they call it red diesel. They actually put... He's not trying to do anything to you though. He's just...
Queen!
Chris, look what you've done, man.
But he's coming for
Right,
me.
well then let me do it.
And he thought spiders were the problem. Yeah, Bex is a little bit better with wasps than me. I hate the little buggers. I think most people do, don't they? But Bex just lets them freely crawl around on her, but then she's never been bitten by one either. Yeah, they've got pretty sharp teeth, haven't they? Get our fresh water in, ready for the trip. 2 years in and we're still using these little buggers for drinking water. In fairness, I think quite a lot of people do, really. She is absolutely itching to get in there. God, what are you straddling it now?
the buffalo ball.
As you know, she loves getting in the engine bay. Here she goes again. Go, Bex. Oil check procedure. How are we looking? Plenty. We've just had a lovely viewer from the vlog come up, Nigel, and he came gifting us a whole crate of beers, bless him.
What a lovely fellow. So lovely to meet you, Nigel.
Thanks so much for these, buddy. We really appreciate it. Next up is the coolant test.
It's not in.
That'll be all right, won't it?
Well,
For
no,
one journey.
It's quite important.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very important.
We don't want no boiling of the engine going on, do we?
Go in there.
We've got to go and pick some engine coolant up before letting the Wombat rip. It's like 3 o'clock now. It gets dark at around 6ish. Takes about 4 hours to get to the island. Smell a danger cruise.
It's an exaggerator. It doesn't get dark. It's meant to start at 8.
The problem with this was we didn't really know if there was sort of a special sort of marine coolant that you needed or if you could just use sort of normal car coolant. So we picked one up. We do have a transit engine in the boat, so that should be all right, shouldn't it? Look at her cuddling them. Okay, go. And our little coolant container here on the boat is actually leaking as well, which doesn't help. Another one to the list, eh? Okay, so here we go. Always glove up, especially when you're going on a cruise. I'll show you why in a bit. This is why I'm wearing gloves. Disgusting. I think it fell in once, didn't it? And it's just never quite recovered from it. So again, we've got to go left here at the marina. It's always tight and the pub's always busy. Becca will be driving the boat out today, and my job will be to stand on the pontoon with the middle rope and lean backwards, sort of levering the narrowboat around left. We've tried in the past sort of bringing it around without doing this method, and it's a nightmare. You end up right up the end with where the pub is. You've got the whole pub roaring with laughter. It's a blimmin' nightmare. So this new method works a treat. Guess what? It didn't bloody work this time, did it? If you see at the top left here on the marina by the pub, there's a little water turbine there that helps control the flow of the river. And if it's turned on, your boat gets sucked towards it. So can you guess what happened here? Yeah, it was turned on. So I was doing me old leaning back trick on the old pontoon here to help lever the boat round to the left, but it would just keep going towards the pub, and I was thinking, what's going on here? I mean, I nearly went in at one point. I just had to let go. I still was wondering what is going on. We didn't even think about the turbine, to be honest, because we haven't had problems, and I don't think it was turned on in the past, to be honest. Here at the top left, you can see the moment that I just had to let go of the rope while I was going to go in. And now Bex is on the boat by herself, and she's getting sucked into the turbine. And yeah, the pub's pretty busy there too. Nice. So at this point I had to leg it round. I didn't have my keys on me, so I had to jump over the gate and somehow try and get back on this blooming thing. So yeah, welcome to our cruising narrowboat channel. Thankfully, one of the guys on the marina saw us in trouble and rang through to get the turbine turned off. Now, you had to wait a few minutes and then I could start sort of levering it off. So now what, do I go down the front?
Would you take the stick up that end?
Here we go, we're going to use the stick, guys. At this point, I'm just stressing, really. I've nearly fallen in, I've had to jump over a gate, I've had to jump off the bridge onto the narrowboat, and there's a full packed pub as well. Bex managed to stay calm.
You alright? Doing a grand job.
And there we have it, we are off at 4 miles an hour. Well, I had to let go, it was like there's no way, I'm wet. So that was possibly the worst time we've ever done it.
I think that wasn't at all.
No? I think chaos just follows us. This tranquil stuff ain't happening for us, I don't think. Okay, onward bound! So it's about a 3.5 hour journey to this island that we want to reach. It was roughly about 4 o'clock-ish, I reckon, and I thought it got dark at 6, so again, I'm stressing. Like I say, it's a very, very stressful lifestyle. Well, it is in my head anyway. I think I've just got to wind down, chill out, and, you know, take it all in and enjoy it for what it is. Two years we've had this blimmin' thing and we couldn't even get out the marina. What does that say?
Well, I feel differently, because I think it went really smoothly, actually. Like, other than the turbine sucking us in, so we just had to wait for that to slow down. I think we did really well. We didn't scrape anything, we didn't bump into anything. It was quite beautifully executed, if you ask me.
Very stressful.
It's a sad state of affairs. We've got some companions.
They're following us. Amazing. So our first lock of the day, I think there's 2, and yeah, I've got to say the stress levels went up even further here. I don't know what's going on with me. I find myself sort of constantly looking up to see if there's any sort of thieves trying to jump onto our boat while we're not on it. I mean, this is the sort of crap that's going on in my head. There isn't any thieves that are going to get on the boat. It will be fine. You're in Roxton Village, Chris. I mean, maybe in the bigger cities, but not here. So how do you do this? Do you have to let the water out first? You let the water out here. I haven't got a clue anymore, have you?
I suddenly forgot what I was doing for a minute, but it started.
I mean, you guys must get bored of seeing narrowboat channels doing locks, but to me, this is really exciting to do. Exciting and stressful because we haven't really done one for about a year, maybe. So 2 years in and we don't remember how to do a lock. Good God. All this sort of stuff again, isn't it? Becca reckons these 2 logs might be a bit of a problem for the wombat. I'll fire her up, ploughing through. Get back on it quickly before any baddies run away with it. Whoa! Jesus! And then now what? I think. God, it's amazing how quickly you forget this. No, we don't do it very often. So stressful. Not worth it, is it? Not worth the stress. And now Beck's as calm as a cucumber. Geese. So the plan is to try and get to this island. We are itching to get to this island, but there are some EA moorings just before it. But I feel if we get to those EA moorings, we might as well go that tiny little bit further and get to the island, because it's just nicer. You can have a fire there, you can have a little wander around. It's just a nice area. So the sun is going down though, and I don't know, I'm panicking already. I'm having a panic day.
Panic pants over there. I think we'll be fine. But it is a bit of a race against the sun. But if not, we just get to use our cool navigation lights.
Danger cruise. So the Bedford Bridge here, 1874. Quite a calm little journey here on the way to the island. On the way back, yeah, we wrecked the boat and got stuck. But that's tomorrow. You like that? Who was driving? So a sneak peek into the next episode there. So much for a peaceful, tranquil, narrowboat cruising channel, eh? So yeah, but back to today's adventure of trying to work out if the batteries will hold their charge when we're off-grid cruising. So one of the first things that struck me about narrowboat life was how lovely the community are. 99.9% of the community are absolutely lovely and will go completely out of their way to help you out. And these guys over here on the beautiful boat, BA, Michael and Faye, played a big part in how the next episode played out. Viewers from the vlog once again. 2 lots we've had today, haven't we?
Chris is convinced that every person that waves must be a viewer from the vlog, which was a really sweet thought, but I don't know. Yeah, they weren't actually viewers from the vlog. They were just some lovely, lovely boaty people giving us a lovely, lovely boaty wave. That's something I've missed for a long time, is me old boaty wave. It's looking good, we're nearly there. This is exciting. We're finally going to be able to sit down and chill. Worked out good. Here we go. That's good. Welcome to the island again, guys, and we'll take you on a little tour around this in the next episode. But for today's episode, we've still got to check out these batteries, haven't we? We made it. We're on the island. We are on the island, guys. We've been here before, actually, in one of our vlogs about 2 years ago, so... Little barbecue area. Anyone that owns a narrowboat will know that all too well. I always think it's a lovely little touch. In fairness, I've had this before. They bung the barbecue tray there just because they don't want us making fire, actually, isn't it? That's why. I got to it in the end. God, I'm horrible, aren't I? This is the bit I really like of narrowboat life now. You know, it's all calm. We've moored up. We can just relax now. It's absolutely, apart from the Bedford monkeys, it's completely peaceful here. Okay, so we're going to turn the inverter off, put that to neutral. Let's start testing how these batteries are going to fare for the next day. We're going to turn that off like we say for now, and then bung it on. God, it's gone all dark when we need it. Literally been here for about 30 seconds. Got some lights on. I mean, we should be testing it, shouldn't we? Welcome our mighty chicken bucket. Lidl's finest. Check on my batteries. They are the bad boys, my little babies. Get your little sticks and get your bat in there. We're just going to get a general reading of them all. A different thing right now, so
12.5. And you shouldn't let it go lower than what? 12.4. A lot of wiggle room there from the batteries. That is going to be a problem in the morning. Why do they put one right by the mooring?
I don't think there's anyone in it, to be honest.
Anyone. Human. There's no one in there, is there?
There's a small, tiny person living in that triangular house attached to the tree.
What better way to celebrate than with a plate full of carbs? It's about 12 o'clock-ish now. We haven't had a lot of the appliances on. We've had about 6 lights on tonight, and They're not LEDs, they're just off the 12 volt, I think. Let's check the TV out, because we just put this on a second ago. It does this thing when the batteries are about to run out. Crazy flashing thing, where it's just not getting enough energy, enough wattage probably or something. So far it seems it could quite possibly be the batteries, because we've had nothing on. The fridge has been off, everything's been off, bar 6 or 7 little lights on the roof. I mean, it's not going to be good enough for cruising around the entire river and canal network for the next 3 years off grid, is it? Bex wants to get into the battery compartment at the back. Oh well, okay. You know the drill. Grab your little sticks. Oh,
10.3.
well, that means that isn't it? That means they're buggered.
Let's do this.
The starter one always seems alright, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's healthy.
Look at that, it's a healthy one.
Was what it was pretty much on when we landed, because I checked it then. So yeah, either they're all knackered or one of them is knackered and it's drawing power from the others or something like that.
Yeah. What are you doing? You haven't looked to see if you can get some foodies? So it looks like the batteries are buggered, but we'll check again in the morning. But I think that says enough. I've decided that I think it's probably a good idea to fire up the engine. Meg's got a little grin on her face. I thought it would be a great idea to fire up the engine now that we do not have access to solar, so that we can completely cancel out that it's not the solar panels charging up the batteries, Bex. What do you reckon?
What a genius you are to come up with such a wonderful plan. No, it's actually thanks to a commenter who suggested one way of completely isolating where the power is coming from the batteries and making sure it's not coming through the solar is to at night turn your engine on and see if it boosts the power to the batteries, because then you know it's definitely your alternator's working okay and it's nothing else providing power basically. See, 13.7 alternator's getting power to.
We're just trying out some of these lights. Give me the side light, Bex. Navigation lights. Very, very bright, that light, isn't it? I think it'd be quite interesting to do a night cruise one day. See the other one?